Well, hello, my YouTube friends. And no, this video is not about 223 brass. What it is about, we're going to look at these lower receivers and specifically the trigger guard. Now, this is a billet receiver, and you've seen it before. So billet receivers are nice because the trigger guard is generally integral with the frame, right? Machined in as one piece. The way this one is, it won't break. It won't move. No assembly required. And yes, have a piece of tape over the serial number. So billet receivers, provided they're otherwise properly machined, are nice. One of the nice things about them, like I just said, is the trigger guard. And I bring this up because I was watching a video from Pete in North Las Vegas, and hold on a second. All right, that's better. And I got my my mag lock block vice grip thing, whatever the heck it's called. So it will hold the receiver. Now this one has the this forged receiver from Essential Arms, and for a while, man, a few years, I didn't have any trigger guard in it, and I had to eventually break down and put one in it, as you can see. And I don't know where it came from. Someone gave it to me. I may have bought it. But the trigger guard is aluminum, okay, and it has the curve like that. But you can see this little tiny screw right here, and it has a roll pin right there. So what I had to do, so I bought this one. I thought it would be nice. And interestingly enough, my sister's then boyfriend, he gave me this pistol grip right here. And you can kind of tell, sort of, it had a built-in, an integral trigger guard with it. And I don't know what receiver is supposed to go with, but I ended up cutting it off with the hacksaw and filing it down, making it flat right there, because it didn't fit. I thought it would go right here, but the receiver right here was in the way. Like I said, I don't know which one that was supposed to go with, but I did use the pistol grip that he gave me. I was so mad when she broke up with him. Man, that boy could shoot. A Marine, did some tours in Iraq. Anyway, so I bought this trigger guard, and it's aluminum, and I had to fit it in the space down here. You can see it has like that extension right there, but it was of a different shape. It was, I'm going to say, the wrong shape, or the wrong shape for this receiver. It was more squared off. So I had to get a file and file it off to fit the gap right there. But I did finally was able to do that. And I was nervous for a while, or for a long time, years. I mean, I could show you pictures, and I may show you one on here, but I can show you pictures of this. Hold on, let me stop it. All right, I tried to find the best way to show this, and I went back into my history. You can see this was January 2019. So I went back into all my photos, and I found this photo of the day I installed that trigger guard. And you can see, like right here, where I had to file it off. I had to round it down to fill in that spot right there. And there's the drill bit that I used to slightly enlarge that opening. Now, it just occurred to me that that open space with the winter trigger guard, that open space is necessary for the trigger guard to pivot down. That would be my guess. But on this photo right here, you can see that I got this Allen wrench and this set screw, which is what came with the trigger guard. And the best that I could tell, because it was so short, that I had to screw all the way in and then put sideways pressure against this ear right here. And which I thought was weird because it wasn't really long enough to stick out of this side, because it's so short, you can see. And that was why I just went ahead and went with the little set screw right there, or set screw, but the little Allen screw that you saw a minute ago. And here's the completed. It appears I put Loctite on it and hammered the roll pin in with a tack hammer. Okay, hold on a second. And here's a picture of my friend Andre Soriano. At the time, he was living in San Diego, and I was in town. I had bought a suit from him. I was having it fitted, and I asked him if he was interested in shooting guns, and he said, yeah, heck yeah. So on my next visit, I brought a couple of my guns. We went to the South Bay Gun Club, and here he is after the shoot, you know, posing with the weapon, and you can see he's got, you know, trigger finger control, but no trigger guard. So, yeah, I know. I felt bad about it at the time. And if you're wondering who Andre Soriano is, he's the designer, inventor, and creator of this dress right here that you may have seen. And this is the lovely and gracious Joy Villa wearing the Make America Great Again dress that was designed by Andre Soriano. She's also holding a clutch purse that he designed with 2 peace signs on it. She wore this dress at the 2017 Grammys, and so everyone either loved her or hated her. And when I saw this, and then I saw, like, I looked her up on Twitter, and then saw her on Twitter, and then, you know, Andre created the dress, and so I looked him up on Twitter, and that was how I met the both of them, through Twitter. Anyway, yeah, so I do now have a trigger guard on the gun. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, you saw that. So years I didn't have one because I was afraid to drive the roll pin through here and snap off one of those little ears. Being the rookie that I was, but I finally did it. And one thing that when I got around to doing it, I took a drill bit of one, you know, whatever size, you know, not this one, but a little bit bigger, and I just by hand, I set it in there, and I turned it and went in the proper direction for it to cut, and I made the hole a little tiny bit bigger. Still small enough to have an interference fit with the roll pin, but I did enlarge it to take some pressure off when I drove that roll pin in. And then on this side, I just found a little tiny screw because the inside of this is threaded in there. So that screws into the trigger guard, and then there's the roll pin. Okay, next we'll look at, and I don't think this is going to work very well because of the weight of the buttstock, but we'll try it. So here's the, yeah, see, so let's take that off. So here's the, what I believe is called the winter trigger guard. And this is my Colt Sporter. It's a A2 design, more or less. And yes, I have the serial number covered up. But I remember when I read in the magazine about the winter trigger guard, and I guess everybody has to learn from someone eventually, things that they don't know already. So by pressing this little pin right here, you can lower the trigger guard. And now if you have that, I guess that glove with the single trigger finger or regular thick gloves in the wintertime, then that mitten with the one trigger finger. So that's how the winter trigger guard works. Now I suggest if you're doing an A2 clone, that's the trigger guard that you use. And I should be able to retract that with just my, yeah. And that's the trigger guard that was supplied with this gun. And it has the hole right there that the other one that you just saw is built to fill that in. So anyway, shout out to Pete in North Las Vegas for inspiring this video. I used to have another YouTube friend named Fish, and we'd key off each other. I'd post a video, and then that would inspire him, and he'd post a video, and we'd go back and forth. And all our other YouTube friends, they'd laugh at us and like that. You can see this one has the G right there. This one has the SSA. And I got used to it. I never really... never noticed any wrong with it. Is it considered a two-stage? But I'm an old guy, and I like the old school things, and I like the curved trigger. Is that called the bow? But I thought that was called the trigger. But anyway, I like the curved GI looking one, not those other weird straight looking ones but to each his own. So, all right, my friends, you have a good day.